Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
So I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also, as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris met on the debate stage Tuesday night for the first time, in what could be their only head-to-head debate of the 2024 presidential race. The event opened with Harris making a bold move, crossing the stage to shake Trump's hand. Kamala Harris, she introduced herself, adding, "Let's have a good debate." Trump responded, "Nice to see you. Have fun," setting the tone for what became a lively and contentious 90-minute debate. Throughout the evening, Harris took command of the discussion, launching pointed attacks on Trump's policies, his refusal to concede the 2020 election, and his overall performance at rallies. At times, she managed to provoke Trump into defensive or frustrated responses. Summary of Kamala Harris' performance. Kamala Harris' debate performance against Donald Trump energized Democrats, offering a sharp contrast to Joe Biden's earlier debate struggles. Harris was assertive, relentless in attacking Trump, and garnered praise from various watch parties. Supporters appreciated her command on stage, while Trump's base remained loyal. Memorable moments included Harris shaking Trump's hand and her reaction to his conspiracy theory about immigrants eating pets. Though it is unclear if the debate swayed independent voters, Harris successfully rattled Trump and reignited Democratic enthusiasm. In a significant post-debate moment, pop star Taylor Swift took to Instagram, announcing her endorsement of Harris, calling her a gifted leader and encouraging her followers to make informed decisions. Harris takes charge early. From the outset, Harris dominated the conversation. She attacked Trump's tariffs, claiming they were effectively a sales tax on the middle class, and accused him of overseeing the worst attack on American democracy since the Civil War, referencing the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. She also criticized Trump for his policies on women's rights, saying he was dictating what women could do with their bodies, and mocked his praise of authoritarian leaders, saying they would eat him for lunch. Harris's strategy seemed to involve putting Trump on the defensive, often baiting him into responses. At one point, she referenced the 2020 election, reminding him that he lost and was fired by 81 million people. Trump, visibly irritated at times, particularly bristled at her comments about the size of his rallies, insisting that his events were bigger than hers. Trump's message on the economy and immigration. Trump, often on the defensive, stuck to his central campaign themes of inflation and immigration. He argued that immigration had destroyed the fabric of our country and repeatedly tied Harris to the Biden administration, saying, "She is Biden." On economic matters, Trump criticized the current state of the economy, blaming inflation and declaring it the worst we've ever had. He accused Harris of not being able to escape responsibility for the economic situation. Harris, in response, distanced herself from both Trump and Biden. "Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump," she said, emphasizing that she offered a new generation of leadership. Swift endorses Harris. One of the most talked about moments of the evening occurred offstage when Taylor Swift, in a post on Instagram, announced her support for Harris. Swift, with a massive following among young women, a key demographic for Harris, referred to Harris as a gifted leader and encouraged her fans to do their own research before voting, though she made it clear she had already made her choice. Race and rhetoric. The debate also touched on race, with ABC moderator David Muir asking Trump about his previous comments claiming Harris had turned black. Trump dismissed the issue, saying, "I don't care what she is. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less." Harris responded by listing Trump's past racial controversies, from his legal settlements over discriminatory housing practices to his infamous ad calling for the execution of Black and Latino teenagers in the Central Park jogger case. She concluded by saying, "I think the American people want something better than that." Trump accused Harris of trying to divide the country and argued that her criticisms were outdated and irrelevant, dismissing them as issues from 50 years ago. Abortion rights and policy. Abortion became one of the most heated topics of the debate. Harris came out strong, defending abortion rights and criticizing Trump for appointing justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. She painted vivid scenarios of women in distress over medical complications, having to travel out of state to get an abortion. Harris declared, "The government, and Donald Trump, certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body." Trump defended his role in returning the issue of abortion to the states, calling it a courageous decision. However, he repeated false claims that Democrats support abortion even after babies are born, a claim that was fact-checked live by the debate's moderators. Trump deflects on January 6 and legal troubles. In one of the more intense exchanges, Harris invoked the January 6 attack on the Capitol, criticizing Trump's handling of the situation. She argued that it was time for the country to turn the page and move forward, extending an invitation to undecided voters who were troubled by the events of that day. Trump, when pressed on his responsibility for the attack, deflected, instead blaming former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic mayor of Washington, D.C. He also insisted that the rioters have been treated so badly and maintained his stance that he did not lose the 2020 election. A battle over the economy. The debate opened with a sharp exchange over economic policies. Harris attacked Trump for his plans to reimpose tariffs, arguing that they would harm the middle class. She also criticized him for the trade deficit during his presidency. Trump, in turn, defended his economic record, claiming he had created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. Polls show that Americans are slightly more likely to trust Trump over Harris when it comes to handling the economy, but Harris aimed to counter that perception by emphasizing her focus on the needs of ordinary Americans. Gender largely ignored. Although Harris could make history as the nation's first female president, gender was largely a non-issue during the debate. There were no overt references to the historic nature of her candidacy, and both candidates stuck to policy arguments, avoiding any direct discussion of gender. Conclusion. Tuesday night's debate showcased sharp contrasts between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, both in style and substance. While Trump stuck to familiar themes of economic challenges and immigration, Harris attacked Trump on a wide range of issues, from democracy to women's rights, racial controversies, and his role in the January 6th attack. With Taylor Swift's post-debate endorsement providing Harris a boost among young voters, the night highlighted the stakes of the 2024 presidential race in a divided nation. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe for more updates.